Good afternoon, vinyl community. Just for point of reference, as I record this right now, it's the day after our Thanksgiving long weekend. So if you're Canadian, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving long weekend. Obviously, our Thanksgivings are different in the States than in Canada. But, and I could be wrong on this, I understand it was a holiday in the US as well. Was it Columbus Day? I'm not sure. American history was never offered for us, much like I'm sure Canadian history isn't offered to your schooling system. I could be wrong on that one, so if I am, I apologize. But if I am oddly correct, I hope everyone in North America had a great long holiday weekend. Cheers. This is the second time I've had to film this video because this is very so me. I filmed the video earlier today, and like a moron, I deleted it. So I hate redoing videos. I think I've talked about this before. So this is go around number 2, and that first one was so good. I mean, it was award-winning good. I just can't recreate that, but we're gonna try. You're listening to Nazz Showtime. I've not been playing music in my videos for a long time. So I used to get worried about, I used to get copyright claims. And I used to worry about that. But you know what? My channel's not monetized, and if it was, I wouldn't make anything off it. But, so I used to worry about that, but now I've come to realize that nothing happens. All that happens is that the publisher, the rights owner for the music I'm playing makes a few pennies. So I think music in the background kind of rounds out a video for me, fills in those awkward pauses, if I have any of those. So anyways, that's what you're listening to, Nazz Showtime. I'm going to get right to the finds, but at the end of this video, if things go to plan, I have a turntable to show you, a turntable I picked up right underneath that white box. A turntable I got a couple months ago that I think I've referenced in my previous videos, but I'm going to show it to you finally. So stay to the end, or you're the master of the little slider fader thing, whatever. You can skip to the end if you want and see that. But stay to the end. I'm going to show you this turntable I picked up a couple months ago. Really nice turntable. I'm excited to show it to you. And then I have another new one, well, new used. I don't buy new turntables, but another one sitting over there that I can't wait to show you once it's cleaned up and it's working well. That's probably my greatest turntable find is over there. So anyways, we'll get to that. Sorry about that, I just woke up from a little nap, old man nap. Okay, let's get right to these finds. I understand if you're getting tired of this like I am, talking about this white box behind me, but it's been the focus of my collecting for a few months now. It's my legacy box, as I've been calling it. For those of you who, for some reason, not seen my previous videos or have not heard me talk about this, it's a box containing all the singles that are meaningful to me, that will be passed along to my wife and kids, so they kind of get a glimpse. And it's influenced by a BBC documentary called John Peel's Record Box, which was a box that he left. So after his death, people got a glimpse of some of his favorite songs, and that was kind of what influenced me to do the same thing. So I was missing 4. I got 2, so I'm missing 2. I resorted to Discogs, which I don't like to do. But I was getting tired of looking for these locally, and these were $1.99 with free shipping from Germany, so I couldn't say no. So I'm down to 2. So let's get right to this. The first of the 2 that's going to go in that box there is Michael Penn's No Myth. The first single off his first album called March, and I always say it's one of my favorite records. I have a lot of favorite records, but Michael Penn's March is definitely one of them. And if you didn't know, this was nominated for a Grammy at the time. I don't think it won, but anyways, like I said, this is going to hold true for the next one I'm going to show you, but I can't really explain why a song resonates with you or with someone, why it grabs you here and it grabs you here. I know I've heard people kind of pontificate about it, but I don't know if there's any way of explaining, and maybe you'll agree with me, why a song grabs you. And that's going to hold true for this next one. So anyways, that was Michael Penn's No Myth. Planet P Project. One of the more left of center selections in that box. as far as why. But this is, you might know them from their song Why Me from their first album, but they had a second album called Pink World, which was a kind of more or less concept album. And Planet P Project is more or less one person, Tony Carey, who was in Rainbow and a few other bands. And shortly before the record I'm going to show you, he had a hit with A Fine Fine Day. But this is from the second Planet P Project album called Pink World, and it's a song called What I See. And it was only ever released on pink vinyl. I have the 12-inch promo equivalent to this, but I needed the 7-inch, and there you go. I just have incredibly vivid memories about, I was very young at the time, seeing the video on MTV, and it was something that was different from what they were showing at the time, of the pop hits of the day. And it had a little bit of an MTV run to it. But if you're interested to watch a video on YouTube, go ahead. It's on their Planet P Project, What I See. Like I said, you can't explain why a single or why a song resonates with you, but and I have trouble explaining why, other than it was very different. And then I bought the album, and then the whole album didn't make sense. And it took me a long time to kind of figure it out. But anyways, that's kind of the backstory about what got me into the song What I See by Planet P Project. 2 new additions to my box. I'm missing 2. I'll tell you the 2 I'm missing, and if anyone wants to do a trade, I could go on Discogs and get these 2 easily, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But you know, if someone has them and want to do a trade, anything like that, let me know. I'm missing Billy Bragg's Levi Stubbs Tears, the picture sleeve, UK picture sleeve. And I'm missing Wall of Voodoo, Far Side of Crazy, picture sleeve, 7-inch. I have both of those on 12-inch, but as I'm kind of transitioning from 12 inches to 7-inch singles for space consideration, those are the only 2 I don't have for that box. So once I get those 2, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to show the box to you, what's in there. A lot of stuff you don't know what's in there because I've not shown it to you, and then the box will get sealed, hermetically sealed, and buried underground for 100 years, and that defeats the purpose of leaving it to my wife and kids, I guess. But there you have it. It's been about, what, 4 days since I've filmed my last Vinyl Finds video. It's not a tremendous amount to show you in relative terms to what I normally show you. So I'm going to get right to this. This is all, I'm looking through, these are all thrift store finds. The first 3 I'm going to show you are Pearl Jam. And if you see my posts on the YouTube vinyl community, you have seen me post these when I first found them at the thrift store. But apparently Pearl Jam had or has a singles club called the 10 Club, which I was not aware of. I'm not a huge fan. My wife is a massive fan. But, you know, I like Versus and Vitology and Tannin, and then everything after that is kind of hit or miss for me, for Pearl Jam. So, like I said, they had a singles club called the 10 Club, apparently, as I had to Google and find out. And someone donated 3 singles from that club. So I'm going to get to them right now. If I can find them here. Here they are. Excuse me. First one is, I'll show it to you. It's called All Night. 2012 annual 10 Club single, live from Alpine Valley, 2011. All Night, backed with In the Moonlight, and In the Moonlight's recorded with Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age. I have not heard these. Don't know what they're like. Don't know if they'll stay in my collection or not, but there you go. The next one is Eddie Vedder with Jay Triplehorn, the song Shattered. But more interestingly enough is the B-side is Pearl Jam with Jay-Z, 99 Problems. Go figure, I wish I had an opinion to offer, but I have not listened to these yet. I will. I'll let you know. The next one is a 10-inch. It's called No Jeremy. Apparently it's recorded at Red Rocks Amphitheater, which is, I believe, in Colorado. It's a 2-song. I can't even remember what the B-side is, but I know the A-side is called No Jeremy, and I'm interested to hear this one to see what it's like. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about them. Someone donated. You never know what you're gonna find. if there's one little tip or words of inspiration about going to thrift stores, you just never know. You know, you can strike out 20 times and then your 21st time you find Pearl Jam singles. So who knows? Anyways, that was 3 Pearl Jam singles I found at the old thrift stores. Next one is really, really nice copy of John Lennon's Mind Games. Original Apple Records pressing. I like the song Mind Games, but after that it's kind of not my favorite John Lennon solo album. Personally, I think McCartney's a little bit more up my alley, which is not the coolest thing to say, but I do like a lot of John Lennon's solo stuff. But Mind Games, anyway, I wasn't going to leave this behind for thrift store prices, but really nice condition copy of Mind Games on Apple Records. Really super nice in the shrink copy of Deep Purple's Burn. Canadian pressing, like I said, in the shrink with the original price tag on it. At the time, at a store called Scotty's, which I'm not familiar with, it sold for $6.97. Now, if only record prices were $7. Well, first of all, I wouldn't have any room in my house. It would just be all records. But anyways, beautiful in the shrink copy of Deep Purple's Burn. Look at me speeding this along today. Holy cow. Genesis. This is from a series in Europe called Reflection. And, you know, there's other artists. And I hesitate to call these greatest hits or best of compilations because the songs are kind of very haphazard. But I was, like I said, once again, I love Peter Gabriel era Genesis, and I wasn't going to leave this behind. But it's not really a best of, but it's got Supper's Ready, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, and Watcher of the Skies, and a few other songs. So there really doesn't seem to me to be any real rhyme or reason to this Reflection series. You know, there's Yardbirds, and there's Turtles, and there's lots in this series. But anyways, Genesis, yeah, decent little compilation. Let's talk about the Beach Boys, Endless Summer. I was thrilled to find another copy, and I'll tell you why I say another. This is an original pressing with the poster inside, which I'm not going to take it apart and show you. If you want to look at what the poster looks like, that's what Google's for. But every time I get a nice copy of Endless Summer, I always have someone I know, Dave, do you have a copy of Endless Summer you want to sell or trade? I'm like, yeah, okay. Stupid me, and then I'll get one, it's gone. I'll get one, it's gone. I'm keeping this one, that's it, and that's all. I'm saying no to everyone. This copy of Endless Summer is mine. I have very, very fond memories of listening to this when I was young. This was one of, my dad had a box of records. And when I was really young, I used to sneak in the basement, and he had like Buddy Holly Lives, and he had Rolling Stones Black and Blue. I can't remember what else he had, but he had this one. And I used to think it was the coolest thing back then, and I still kind of do. One of the more perfect compilations, best of albums of all time, in my opinion. Beach Boys, Endless Summer. I'm not sure if that'll be my screenshot. Not much more to show you. I found like I said, once again, if you follow my post on the YouTube vinyl community, I posted a photo of about 17 Elvis records I found. And I kind of weeded through a lot of those ones I got, and I'm going to keep 2 of them. So yeah, I found a massive Elvis haul. If I can find the photo, I'll insert it here somewhere, but chances are I couldn't be arsed. But I found a lot of Elvis records in one haul at a thrift store. The 2 I'm keeping is, it's a gold vinyl of Canadian, what was it called? A Canadian tribute. It's Elvis doing, covering songs from Canadians. And then it has a recording of his Vancouver press conference when he was in Vancouver, I'm sure, doing a concert. But yeah, gold vinyl, Elvis, a Canadian compilation on RCA. And the next one was part of the Elvis 50th anniversary reissues in the 80s, I believe it was. This is on blue vinyl. This is called Reconsider Baby. And I believe it's Elvis doing blues songs, more or less, on blue vinyl. And there's the 50th anniversary logo. But I just thought this was, it's something I've never come across for all the Elvis things I find. It's one of the more unique Elvis things I find. I'm not sure, did I show you the Elvis 78s last video I found? I think I did. But I found a couple Elvis 78s, I think last time, and then I found this one. So, just for something I don't see very often, I'll be keeping this one. Reconsider, Reconsider Baby. By this guy, whatever, Elvis, whatever his name is. Last one I'm going to show you. I think I have actually one more single to show you. Joe Jackson's Jump and Jive. I know a lot of people love this album. I like Joe's first couple albums. I'm the Man, and was it Steppin' Out? And I understand this is like a Jump Jive album, and a lot of people love this album. I'm gonna give it another try because, much like the Beach Boys, I've come across this and it's been sold or traded off, and I get it again, and I'm gonna give this one an honest try and see if the benefit of age and time, if my ears hear it differently or my brain hears it differently. I don't know however all that hearing thing works. I'll give it another shot is what I'm trying to get at. Jump and Jive by Joe Jackson. And since I'm doing very well on time today, a couple singles that I did get a while ago that I didn't show that are for that white box again, right behind you. This is the first song. It's a little bit embarrassing now, and by a little I mean a lot. This was the first song I ever expressed interest in liking, like music. I like that. First album I ever got via my parents for Christmas was Billy Joel's Glass Houses. That was in 1980 or so. First albums I ever bought with my own money was Elton John's Too Low for Zero, and I think I bought a Rick Springfield Living in Oz album that day. This was the first song I ever said to my parents, and I was young. I was like, oh, I like that. And then back in the late 70s, grocery stores would have like little tool departments and toy departments, very crude. And then they would have a little selection of records, and I would look at this record in the bin and like dream of owning it. And then I obviously ended up owning it many years later. But listening back to this song, it's kind of odd to say this was kind of like the first song I ever like piqued my interest for as music as something I will enjoy. Rocky Burnett, Tired of Towing the Line. I don't know if you can see that. Rocky Burnett. Don't know why. Maybe it's not that embarrassing, but yeah, I listen to it back now, and it's like, yeah, I don't know why. Once again, you don't know why a song kind of resonates, but back when I was very, I was this big. There was something medically wrong with me, but I was that big. And then I yanked on my mom's dress, or I'm making facts up now. And I really loved this song, and I was happy to get another copy of this single to add to the box as something. This was the starting point. It was Rocky Burnett, Tired of Towing the Line. Don't know why. That is what it is. We're going to end this video right here. I want to say thank you, as always, to everyone. That's right, we're going to jump to the turntable video right away. But before I do that, you know what? I'll sign off over there on that video. So we're going to do a jump, or we're going to do an edit, and then I'll show you this new turntable, and I'll kind of end the video at the end of showing you this turntable after the jump. Whatever way the fade's going to go, stay tuned. So, all right, here's a look at the new turntable I got. And here's the turntable I've been wanting to show you for the last couple months that I've been neglectful of showing you, so I apologize for that. It's a realistic Lab 400 direct drive automatic turntable, and we'll get to that in a second, but I'll show it to you. Really nice wood veneer plinth. Absolutely mint condition, not a mark on it. Dust cover's perfect. Sorry about the head shell being gone. I'm swiping out cartridges at the moment for something different. I wasn't going to demo it anyways, just to save time. But right off the start, you might be asking yourself, realistic, is that not a Radio Shack brand? And yes, it is. This is one of the more desirable realistic Lab turntables that they made. And just for some explanation in case you don't know, is that major manufacturers like Toshiba, Sansui, Pioneer techniques. They made electronics for department stores and like Radio Shack, and then the stores rebranded them as their own name. So really, a lot of these department store brands were made by well-known manufacturers, and there was a lot of crap put out, but there's a lot of good stuff. So never turn your nose up at department store brands unless you do your due diligence and look them up on the internet, because a lot of these were incredibly high build quality, as is this one here. Now, whether I'm keeping this one or not, it's a different story, because I'm sitting on 5 turntables right now. Earlier on in the video, I talked about one that I'm sitting on right now that I'm hoping to clean up. And if it does clean up nice and it works as good as I think it will, it might be my number 1 or number 2 turntables. As this one right now you've all seen before is my Moran 6200, which I have 2 of. One's in for a tune-up right now, so whether this one stays or goes, who knows. I can't keep, like, I'm sitting on 5 turntables right now. I don't need 5. I just need 2. So we'll see what happens with this one. Right now I'm just loving it and enjoying it. And how I came to own it is a couple months ago. A block from my house is a community hall. And on a Sunday, they were having a community sale where local residents get together, have a glorified garage sale inside of this community hall. And, they sell knitting and Tupperware and whatever else, toys. And a lady I got there later on in the day, and a lady had this under her table. And it was under her table, so I'm sure no one really took notice of it. But I had a look at it, and I was examining it in depth. And I think she had a $35 price tag on it. And it was getting close to the end of the day, and she said, would you buy this for $10? She wasn't sure if it worked. And I was going to buy it for $35, but for $10... So basically, this is my $10 turntable, and I plugged it in, cleaned it up and plugged it in that order. And this is what it turned into. I had someone else kind of look at it just in case some of the electronics weren't working, but it was all working fine. Nothing wrong with it. So, yeah, that's my $10 Realistic Lab 400 direct drive turntable that I've been meaning to show you all. So I'm sorry if this is rushed. I'm trying to condense this video into something a little bit shorter than normal. So I may be talking a tad fast. I apologize for that. Before I end this here, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. It's all good with me. I'm just happy and thrilled that you're watching my videos. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Peace.